Hi everyone, let's do the chanting straight away. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami, tutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, tutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, tutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami, tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from their happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Gate Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. So now let's do some meditation. Initially, to release the tension in the body. So bring your mind inside your body after finding a comfortable physical position for yourself. And let's release the tension from the bottom to the top. So starting at the tip of your toes, work your way all the way up your body to the top of your head eventually. So let's take a few moments to do this now. Now scan your body once more and release whatever tension that may be there. And when you've done this, bring your focus to the tip of your nose initially. And the object of the meditation is the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose all the way into your lungs, then back out your nose again. Breathing in, breathing out. If thoughts arise or any mental activity arises, don't cling to it or grasp at it. try to force it away or deny it, but simply and naturally let it go by replacing your mind back onto your breath. And if your mind starts to become dull or sleepy, then wake it up a little bit by refocusing onto your breath more brightly. You can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 to 10. One in-breath and one out-breath is 1, and so on. But if you get distracted on the way to 10, then go back to 1 at that time. All you have to do physically right now is sit here and breathe. All you have to do mentally right now is focus on your breath and apply the antidote if your mind wanders from your breath. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. So now you can feel pleased with yourself and fill yourself with universal loving kindness, utilizing the visualization technique, filling yourself with the white light or the white nectar. So fill your whole being with this universal loving kindness. Especially important is the feeling of this universal loving kindness. Fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards, initially to your loved ones, family, and friends, filling them with the universal loving kindness too, in the form of the white light or nectar. May they be happy, free from suffering, and may they be peaceful. Now also radiate to strangers, filling them with the universal loving kindness as well. May they also be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Radiate further now to include enemies, filling them with the universal loving kindness as well. May they also be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. And now let's radiate to other sentient beings too, not just human beings. To the beings in the animal realm, in the hungry ghost realm, the hell realms, the Asura realms, the heavenly realms, form heavens, formless heavens, desire heavens, all the beings that live in the waters, on the land, fly through the air, born from eggs or wounds or moisture or through transformation, around your immediate area initially. May they all be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. So fill them all with the universal loving kindness that is generated in your own heart and radiated outwards through your loving kindness and compassion, which are not separate. Now radiate throughout your whole state or county to include all the living beings without exception. And other states and counties throughout your whole country. Loving kindness and compassion and joy are based on equanimity, a non-biased mind. So do your best to maintain a mind of equanimity. Now, throughout other countries throughout the world, initially those you have an affinity towards, those you're indifferent towards, and those that for whatever reason you may have some negative feelings towards, until your loving kindness pervades throughout all of the countries on this planet, and also throughout all of the oceans, right down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. And now beyond this planet alone, throughout the whole solar system. And all solar systems throughout the galaxy. And all galaxies throughout the universe and beyond. Have your loving kindness pervade throughout infinite space, of which you are interconnected with, and all living beings herein. We are all related, all interdependent, interconnected. Also be present here and now to recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And may the precious beauty of Shunyata not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And so we'll continue with the commentary on some teachings from the book. We're up to teaching number 47 out of 50, and I'm covering a bunch of subjects. Last week was the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and we also put into practice the three wisdom tools of hearing the teaching, contemplating on the teaching, and then absorbing your mind with whatever it is you understand from the contemplation after hearing. So we'll continue to do that today as well. Today we'll talk about the 4 preliminary contemplations, or specifically the first one today, and maybe for the next 2 weeks too, okay? So the precious human life, then of course is impermanence, then of course is cause and effect, and then we have the unsatisfactory nature of samsara, or cyclic existence. And this relates to us developing the renunciation, the genuine renunciation, then therefore helps us to develop bodhicitta and realize the supreme wisdom of emptiness. These are known as the 3 principal paths, or the 3 principles of the path. So that's renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. So the 4 preliminary contemplations is where we're up to. And the quote from the book, to remind you, is, "Every day is a good day. Every moment is a good moment, a great opportunity to practice the Buddha Dharma and bring benefit to all sentient beings. If we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma, moment to moment, day to day, then every moment will be a joyful moment. Every day will be a joyful day. When we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma in this human life, our life becomes a precious human life, as we will be making the most of this rare and precious opportunity. We should constantly remind ourselves that we now possess a most valuable, priceless, and precious human birth. This will help us to maintain the inner strength, confidence, joy, and enthusiasm we need to take full advantage of this rare opportunity. We should be careful not to waste our lives by being distracted by superficial worldly concerns, so that we can emulate the great sages and masters of the past and truly believe with confidence that we can follow in their footsteps and make our lives truly meaningful and worthwhile." And so, what I'm going to work off, I've decided to do this, right? I wasn't going to do this. I was just going to speak off the top of my head. But I've decided to actually read to you an article I wrote on these subjects, okay? So this time it's the meditation on precious human life. Then there'll be meditation on impermanence, and then contemplation on karma. And then I'll speak off the top of my head when we get to the unsatisfactory nature of cyclic existence. I thought I'd utilize these writings. Some of you are aware of them from reading them on social media and so forth, or in magazines, 2 of them. And then, but also some of you may be aware of these subjects or these meditations or contemplations from when they were just in point form. I wrote them in point form probably in the mid-2000s for Dharma classes and utilized them at various times, okay? So I will read it to you in its entirety, and then we'll go back over it bit by bit. And like I said, put into practice. So right now you're putting into practice the wisdom tool of hearing, or the wisdom of hearing. Then we will do contemplation. Then we will do the meditation to absorb the mind with your understanding, okay? But right now, the first bit is I'll just read it to you in its full, okay? Or in full. Meditation on precious human life. Excuse me for a second. Meditation on precious human life. The 10 fortunes and the 8 freedoms. Human life is considered precious when it is endowed with the excellent qualities or fortunes and freedoms, or the good conditions needed to engage in Dharma practice. Firstly, the 10 fortunes, 5 of which relate to you and 5 to the outside world. We should reflect on how fortunate it is that, number 1, I have been born as a human being. 2, I have been born in a civilized land, a spiritual country. That is, where people are keeping vows and living morally. 3, I have been born with the sense faculties intact, able to hear, see, smell, think, and so forth. Number 4, I haven't committed any of the 5 heinous acts, extreme wrongdoings that would result in a rebirth of great suffering in the next life. Number 5, I have some faith and devotion in the Buddha's teachings and some inspiration to practice to tame this mind. 6, I have been born in a world where a Buddha has come. 7, I have been born in a world where a Buddha has taught and revealed the truth. 8, I have been born where Buddha's teachings have not been lost from the hearts and minds, and where both unmistaken understanding and realizations are still held by great practitioners. 9, I have been born where Buddha's teachings are still being practiced in a pure way by the community of practitioners, our Dharma friends. Number 10, I have been born where I have the necessary conditions to practice and the support of genuine masters who teach us from the great love and compassion. Now let us reflect on the 8 freedoms. I have the freedom to create the causes for temporary happiness and ultimate good by 1, not being born in the hell realms. 2, not being born as a hungry ghost. 3, not being born as an animal. 4, not having distorted views, such as denying that cause and effect exists, and so on and so forth. Number 5, not born in a place where no Buddha has appeared. Number 6, not born in an uncivilized place where no one truly practices morality. Number 7, not born intellectually disabled with no faculty to learn, understand, or practice the teachings. 8, not born as a long-life god of the form realm. We should reflect that with these fortunes and freedoms, I can attain sorrowless state or the sorrowless state and supreme enlightenment. To waste this precious life is like one who returns empty-handed from a treasure island. The great master Lama Je Tsongkhapa said, this body of leisure is more reliable than a jewel which grants every wish, or more valuable, I should say. And now it is the time you have found a life such as this. These words indicate not only how meaningful it is to have found such a life, but also how difficult and rare it is to have done so. We should contemplate these ideas again and again to realize a deep understanding and conviction into their meaning. Begin by reflecting on what you can check for yourself to be true. Acceptance of the sufferings of the more hidden realms can come later. We can see directly that many people are born in countries without even the most basic freedoms, where they are tortured, oppressed by cruel and harsh systems of governments. Many suffer persecution and extreme violation of their basic human rights. We should reflect, am I not fortunate to live in this land? Many are born blind, disabled in various ways, unable to receive or practice spiritual teachings. Am I not fortunate to be born with sense organs and faculties intact, able to hear and understand the Dharma? Many people have narrow, distorted views, unable to understand the law of cause and effect of past and future lives, and so on and so forth, and therefore lead foolish, wasted lives? Am I not fortunate to have the chance to discover the truth and be free from suffering? Many live in places without sufficient food or water, homeless, scraping a living. Am I not fortunate to live in a land of such abundance? Many people are born in places where there are no practitioners of the Buddha's teachings, or in places where no Buddhas have appeared and revealed the truth. The teachings are being lost from the world. I have met them just in time. Am I not fortunate to have encountered these precious teachings in a pure form? And could I endure for even a single day the sufferings of animals, always afraid, eating each other, used in cruel experiments, farmed and slaughtered in unbearable suffering, hunted for their skins and fur, forced to labor in harsh conditions, and so on and so forth? Am I not fortunate to be born as a human being? And what of those beings tortured by unbearable hunger and thirst, by torments unimaginable? Am I not fortunate to be free from such states? Who can say when such a precious human life will be mine again? Who can say how long I have left in this life? Let me resolve to ensure that I make correct and highest use of it. May I take the essence of this precious birth with its fortunes and freedoms without wasting a moment. The great master Lama Je Tsongkhapa said, "It is difficult to find and easily destroyed, like lightning in the sky." Think this over carefully and come to realize that all activities of the world are like chaff blown in the wind. To take the essence of this life, you must strive day and night. The master meditator, I live my life this way. You who seek for freedom must try to do likewise. That's from the great master Je Tsongkhapa, okay? The beginner of the Dalai Lama tradition, the Gelug tradition. All right, so, excuse me, very blocked up today. The weather, by the way, for you in Hanukkah in England and other people in other countries, the word winter has arrived for sure here. Very cold today. And very windy. Okay, so let's put into practice the 3 wisdom tools. So I'll go from the beginning. 10 freedoms, or 10 fortunes and 8 freedoms. Human life is considered precious when it is endowed with the excellent qualities of fortunes and freedoms, or the good conditions needed to engage in Dharma practice. So just take half a minute to contemplate that. I'll read it to you again, and then we will meditate on it to absorb the mind. So bit by bit, okay? Human life is considered precious when it is endowed with the excellent qualities. So closing your eyes so you can contemplate, very important. Don't be distracted by visual things like the computer. Human life is considered precious when it is endowed with excellent qualities or fortunes and freedoms, or the good conditions needed to engage in Dharma practice. Contemplating this. Now, after contemplating, meditate your mind. Absorb your mind with the understanding that you came to from the contemplation after hearing. This should be a very simple one. Okay, now back to the text. But first of all, I'll just mention to you that over the last week, I have reposted these teachings on Facebook. So if you want a copy, then go back, like scroll down and find them. Okay, I think this was the first one, maybe Monday or something, when I decided to do it like this, actually. Okay, so now, once again, hearing, wisdom of hearing in play. Firstly, the 10 fortunes, 5 of which relate to you and 5 to the outside world. We should reflect on how fortunate it is that, first of all, we do the 5 that relate to ourselves. I have been born as a human being. So contemplate this. And absorb your mind with it. Number 2, I have been born in a civilized land, a spiritual country. That is, where people are keeping vows and living morally. So now contemplate on this. And absorb your mind with the understanding. Number 3, I have been born with the sense faculties intact, able to hear, see, smell, and think, and so forth. So now contemplate this. Use your ability to analyze or to investigate and analyze. Remembering investigating is kind of looking at it from a gross point of view, and then analyzing, you get more into the subtle aspects of the teaching and the understanding. So now absorb your mind with whatever understanding you came to. Number 4, I haven't committed any of the 5 heinous acts, extreme wrongdoings that would result in a rebirth of great suffering in the next life. So now contemplate this. The 5 heinous acts are killing mother, killing father, trying to kill or just injuring a Buddha, killing an Arahant, and bringing discord, serious discord into the spiritual community. So now, having contemplated this briefly, absorb your mind with the understanding. And number 5, I have some faith and devotion in the Buddha's teachings and some inspiration to practice to tame this mind. So now contemplate what it is you just heard, that you have faith and devotion in the Dharma, and you have some inspiration to practice. And now absorb your mind with the understanding. You can hear again. Leanne, can you please let me know when it goes under 1 minute? Because I haven't got the time clock again. We'll keep going, okay?
1 minute
we
now.
will do a minute, okay. Fine, so I'll just read to you the next 5 as well that relate to the outside world. I have been born in a world where a Buddha has come. I have been born in a world where a Buddha has taught and revealed the truth. I have been born where Buddha's teachings have not lost or been lost from the hearts and minds of the people, and where both unmistaken understanding and realizations are still held by great practitioners. I have been born where Buddha's teachings are still being practiced in a pure way by the spiritual community of practitioners, our Dharma friends. And I have been born where I have the necessary conditions to practice and the support of genuine masters who teach us from their great love and compassion. Okay, so once again, we will do that again next week. Hopefully you're enjoying utilizing the 3 wisdom tools. I think it's a really good idea of mine. Tell me if it's not, you can write to me. No problem. Okay, so I rejoice in your meritorious goodness as per usual. Stay warm if you're in a cold place. Stay cool if you're in a warm place. If it's temperate, moderate weather, enjoy that. Okay. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Wow, it's still going.